Hey guys, this is Pharaoh 2091, and welcome back to Let's Play Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Last time we left off, we came to the surprising fact, or supposedly, that Vera was the forger and not her father Drew. And she herself stated that at the end of the last what do you call it, cross-examination. So it's like, well, poop, you know? It's like, she is a forger? She was the one who did all that? So now it's like, well, we need to learn more about that. Like, why were you doing that? And, did you really kill your father? I mean, come on. We have to believe in her. She just doesn't look like someone who would do that. But then again, we've come across many cases where looks can be very deceiving. Pretty much the whole entire Trials and Tribulations is pretty much like that. So, well, let's see what we can do about this then. Okay, so where exactly does this leave us, Apollo? Well, the Drew Misham who was killed wasn't Drew Misham the forger, basically. Huh? Well then, who was he? Well, he was actually... Was she doing her nail polish again out of nowhere? Doing her nails. So, you really made those forgeries? Can't you talk us without doing that? Yes. For father. I know it was wrong. Could you tell us how it happened? My father was a painter. I loved painting ever since I was a child. One day, father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent. The talent for making forgeries? How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything. Anything? It's weird. My father was so proud, and I so happy. But in the end, I was making those forgeries. I've never had a good constitution, nor personality. I know very little of the world outside my door. Now, because of me, father is... Do you know about this red envelope? I remember that envelope. It was some time ago. So you were already, creating your works back then? I started when I was only 12 years old. So the one who figured out the stamp was poison, that was... Mr. Justice, it's time. To the courtroom, please. Right. Out of time. Wait, Vera, just one more thing, please. Those 3 paintings in the studio. I painted those as part of my work. Right. See, we checked them and we saw that what was underneath. We saw the rough sketches underneath the 3 finished paintings. I see. Mr. Justice. Yes? Father, he knew of you. Of both of you. Your late father. He was watching, gathering information. All about the Wright and Company law offices. But lately, we're not doing just law. Yes, you do tricks, gags to amuse, and play piano. Well, they're not really gags. Yet, when Father heard you had resumed the legal business, how pleased he was. Who was Mr. Misham? How am I supposed to know? What if he was Daddy's daddy? Judging from relative ages involved, I'd say it's highly unlikely. Things are already confusing enough of all these daddies running around. We know that the victim's daughter, Vera, was a forger. What does this mean for the case? Guess we're about to find out. You know, that's always interesting. You never actually learn anything about Phoenix's family. Like his parents, or does he have any brothers, sisters, you know. I think that would be kind of cool to see. But to my knowledge, I don't think there is anything. Oh well. Court is now back in session. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Perhaps you could begin by telling us how it all worked? How did you set up this Drew Misham forger persona? Aww. There's that stare again. She's drilling more holes into his head. I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy. What's hard? Apollo seemed to take that one really, he was really taken back. He's like, no, what? Whatever. Very well, miss, if you would. Did you really make those detestable forgeries? Oh, I feel so bad for her being grilled like this, and we haven't even started talking to her just yet, really. Perhaps you'd rather answer my question. Were you the one who painted that painting? The remarkably similar one? Yes. So I guess it's very hard for her to express her emotions naturally. She has to do it through her notepad or notebook there. I painted it, yes. Father praised me quite highly for it. So, she was the one who made the forgeries. Yet, she did not wish to reveal the truth of their operation. So the victim was a stand-in, a decoy. To the world at large, he was a forger, not her. I've done a bad thing. I have, haven't I? Regardless, we need a little more information. About, for instance, this. You have seen this before, yeah? Yes. It was in a desk drawer. Very well. You may proceed with your testimony. Tell us everything you know about this envelope. And it's kind of interesting to see how Vera even talks. It's it always starts with an ellipses, ends with an ellipses, and the wording is centered. It doesn't go back to the left like it should, or how it is presented in everyone else's speech. But hey, okay, let's get started here. I created things and Father sold them. This envelope came after my first work. That was other than a painting. Father handled the deal. All of it. I've received a stamp that was in that envelope. Okay, so she draws evidence as well, I guess? It was after that job that we moved to the current studio. There certainly was much of great interest in your testimony. Not that the witness realizes it. Very well. Please begin the cross-examination. Right. Okay. I need more information about this forger. This Drew Misham. And I think this is one of the rare times in the Ace Attorney games where you pretty much have to press on everything. It usually happens in the last case of all the games. There's certain times where you can't get any information, so you kind of have to keep pressing. So, we need a lot more information, so that's what we're going to keep doing, just keep pressing here. So, these things you were making, you mean paintings identical to the other paintings, right? The closer they were, the happier Father was. I was happy too. Still, you're quite young now. When did you begin this work? My first painting sold when I was 12. Your Honor, she had no idea what she was doing. What she was doing was illegal. Objection! Easy there, little attorney. You're not here to defend her for the crime of forgery. True. Please, tell us more about this envelope, then. This envelope that may very well have killed your father. All right. I know it's not going to be that easy, I mean, she was 12. I mean, she really couldn't know that the forgeries were illegal at that age. Later on, probably. But once again, yeah, we're not here accusing her of forgery, or that's what she's on trial for. She's being accused of killing her own father here. By other than a painting, you mean you'd only done paintings up to that point? Yes, but Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than paintings. For instance, a letter someone had written, or a fingerprint left upon a cup, or a signature on a document, a seal upon a letter. None of this makes her sound very innocent at all. And the $100,000 promised in this letter was the start, the beginning of a new industry for Drew Misham. A new industry? The creation of items to be used in criminal proceedings. Forging evidence, in other words. Uh-oh. Yeah, that's not good. That's a pretty serious offense, too. So, you didn't know how the things you were making were being used? Apparently not. No, wait. I enjoy painting very much. I think I understand. The Fraudline has lived in an unusual little world. Can you tell us what happened to the papers that were in this envelope? Father signed them and sent them back, I believe. Did he follow the instructions? Send it in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp? This is a rather important matter. Give your answer some thought. What was the answer again? Yeah, sure, you see the stamp, okay. What do you mean you received it? By mail? Someone handed it to you? Did I do something wrong? You didn't use that stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Deadly poison! On the back! That word! Objection! A moment, Air Forehead. You can't force an answer upon the witness. Now then, perhaps you would tell me, Fraulein Vera, why did you receive this stamp? Is something wrong? It was beautiful. Ah, you mean it's one of those commemorative stamps? Yes, I think it was. So, you didn't know about the poison? Well? What is that, like angry face? I guess not. So the trap failed by chance. By mistake. Thanks to this commemorative stamp. Quite the close call. Definitely. And then, oh, what about, okay, the current studio. So how was their older studio then? You mean you moved to where the current Drew studio is? Yes, we saw very few people there. I began drawing picture books. This single job had tied them to the criminal underworld. I think Mr. Misham wished to reduce their visibility in the world at large. When we had to meet someone for some reason, Father posed as the creator of the work. So that was the real essence of the artist Drew Misham. You did the work, and he supplied the face. So, you really didn't know anything, did you? You had no idea how much danger you were in. Apparently not. That's what's sad. It's like her father would risk all that on her. And she's sad right there. Apparently not. About this commemorative stamp, could you tell us more about it? It was very pretty. And more than that... Yes? It was a picture of people I liked at the time. This is something new. People... Who did she like? Apparently, we've got some cross-examination yet ahead of us. If you would be so kind as to continue your testimony, Fraulein? I guess fine. I should be happy to. Okay. So, her new statement would be, the stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it. No, your favorite magicians? So, it would... You mean the Grammarize? Really? Objection! That could be it. Those magicians you liked. Was it this bunch? Well, suspense. Yes, it is. Apollo, they're not a bunch. Oh yeah, troop. Sorry, Trucy. I see. Still, I have to wonder, why include a commemorative stamp like that in a business letter? Good question. Well, pretty stamps are always better. You can't beat true Grammari. But the whole murder plan was a failure because of it. Ironic, don't you think? Prosecutor Gavin? Gavin? Prosecutor Gavin? Grammari. What's with Gavin? Might I ask just one question of this witness? In your testimony just now, you stated this was your first work that was other than a painting. Please, tell me, what exactly did you make? Can I ask why? No! Answer the question! Now! Okay, calm down, Gavin. Prosecutor Gavin! You're usually not the one whose volume concerns me. Yes, it is unbecoming of me. I apologize. But I must know. Please, Miss Misham, tell me. It was a book. A single page in a book. A book? Please be more specific here. It was a handwritten book. Like a diary. Gavin? What is it? No! I don't... No! Am I missing something here that... I think I am. What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks like he just saw a ghost. Miss Misham, this book... sorry about that, guys. Got interrupted there. Right when it was getting good, too. I guess he was talking about that book. Was there a picture of a silk hat on the back cover? Yes or no? How did you know? What the hell's going on here? Prosecutor Gavin, the defendant is answering all your questions. Stop badgering her. He's told you nothing, has he? Your soiled, sullied mentor. Nothing? Sullied? Who? Phoenix Wright. Who else? Daddy? He never told you about the trial 7 years ago? About how he came to lose his attorney's badge? It was a certain piece of evidence to decide his fate, you know. A certain diary. On the back, it bore a mark of a silk hat. What?! Phoenix Wright tossed out of profession by false evidence? And the forgers who made that evidence. Is this girl standing right in front of me? Vera, you must tell us. The evidence you made was used in the trial 7 years ago. Who asked Drew Misham, you, to forge that evidence? For all of our sakes, who was it? Who, you've got to be kidding me. We only met once. You met the client? Well, who was it? It was who? What's going on with Vera? She's staring at Prosecutor Gavin's face again. Yes? What? Is there something about me? I remember clearly. I remember who gave me the book. The diary. Who was it? Choke? Vera! And... Timber. The devil. Okay, so now we're talking about the devil. It's bad enough that earlier in these games we were talking about, you know, spirits and whatnot. Defendant Vera Misham. Condition unconscious. Examiner's diagnosis. Acute... What?! This ends the recording of the trial for the murder of Drew Misham. Vera Misham was, during the trial, poisoned by unknown assailant. Doses were just under the lethal amount, sparing the defendant's life. She is currently in intensive care and is not to be disturbed for any reason. A very simple case, at first glance, until it finally began to show its true colors. The long road to the truth takes us to the record of another trial. In some ways, that was the starting point of it all. And that is where we must go. To find the whole truth Okay. Wow. So, this just took a whole different turn. And we've never seen Gavin act like this before. And it seems we kind of finally figured out the reason why Phoenix Wright is not an attorney anymore. It seems like he used forged evidence. Now, whether that be to his knowledge or not, I mean, still presenting it, well, I guess yes, it would end your career. And just before she was about to say who it really was who gave her the diary to forge, she collapses due to poisoning. The same poison that killed her father. So this is... I mean, the only thing she said, it was the devil. Now, who could be the devil? There's a devil woman I know about, but she's gone for good. So, yeah. But it seems like right now, we're going back to the past. 7 years ago. And if you saw that, it was Phoenix Wright, like we always see him in any of the other games. That looked like Gavin when he was younger, so 7 years ago. And then we saw an adorable little Trucy Wright. And I was like, aww. So, okay, let's see where this is going to take us then. So, as usual, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for Let's Play Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney. I'll see you guys later.